So hi, welcome back to the last video of this section and the last video of this course. So in this video, we will be discussing how to improve our automated processes like validation and workflow rules to be ready for future customization and integration processes. So validation and workflow rules are incredible tools for ensuring data quality in business processes as well. So, however, as implementations get more customized through the addition of custom code or custom configuration as well as data integration processes, we would encounter scenarios when we want to override the validation or workflow rules altogether. So by either overriding them to skip certain data or to be turned off entirely on certain times of the year, in this video we will discuss how to create them and add these overrides with our validation and workflow rules. So although not a solid feature of Salesforce, validation and workflow rule overrides have become sort of a de facto standard among Salesforce administrators and developers alike. So for Mojo Electronics, a company new to Salesforce, we will expect several data migration activities in the beginning, as well as regular data migration processes all throughout. The need to turn off all validation rules in one go, as well as turn off workflow rules and actions like email alerts would become of utmost importance. So in the video, we'll be performing 3 tasks. First is we're gonna create a record-based override to our contact validation rule. Next is we're gonna add a record-based override to our workflow rule in the opportunity object. Then lastly, we're gonna add custom setting that will override a validation rule in the contact object as well. So first off, let's just go to the Salesforce setup menu. So as you remember, validation rules are extremely important for ensuring data quality. However, there are times when we just want the data knowing that it will be changed, either by using custom code or enriched through a data integration process. So creating an override in the affected object will allow us to script through these validation rules and simply modify our data. So to start off, let's just go to Customize, go to Fields, under Contacts, click on that, select New under the Custom Fields and Relationship section. Let's enter checkbox as a data type and click on Next. Enter our field name called override. Let's leave the default value at unchecked and click on Next. Next, let's make it visible for all profiles. However, we're going to make it read-only for all profiles except system administrators. This ensures that all users will have access to the value of that field. However, by setting it for read-only, only certain users can actually modify the contents, ensuring that data quality is of top-notch quality for most users entering the actual data. So let's just click on Next. Let's uncheck Add Field, meaning that this field will not be available in any page layout and can be only accessed through either data loader or through the API. So let's just click on Save. So after creating our contact field, we can now add it to our validation rule. So let's just click on Edit. So let's just add that field that we just created called override. Click on Insert. It's not equal to true. This means that this validation rule will only fire off if this override is not equal to true. So let's just click on Save. So there you have it. So we just created our record-based validation rule override as well as integrating it to the particular validation rule. So after adding an override to our validation rule, we can use the same approach and add an override to our workflow rule as well. So this is used, for example, when we are doing a data migration of a large set of legacy data and we don't want to trigger notifications like alerts or tasks. So to start, let's just go to Customize, go to our object called Opportunities, click on Fields. Next, let's click on New. Click on our checkbox data type. Next, let's enter override. Leave it at unchecked as a default value and click on Next. Let's make it visible and make it read-only as well, except for system administrator. Click on Next. Let's remove the field from all page layouts. Click on Save to finalize our changes. So after creating that override field, we can add it to our workflow rules. So let's just go to Create, select Workflow and Approvals, and click on Workflow Rules. So from here, let's just enter our rule called One Major Opportunity. Click on Edit. Let's select our new override field. Let's just select equals false. And let's click on Save. So basically adding that clause in the workflow rule criteria means that the workflow rule will only get activated when the override is set to false. So after finalizing our changes to this particular workflow rule, we are now going to create a custom setting which will act as a kill switch for all automation processes on an organizational level. So this allows us to disable workflow rules or validation rules instantly, and is important for a good value add when migrating data from other systems, or if we're dealing with huge amounts of data to be migrated. To start off, let's just go to Custom Settings under Develop. Let's enter our custom settings we created earlier. As you may have noticed, I've changed the name since we're not just going to use as an object to hold standard rates within the system. So this is a good practice for administrators in ensuring that our labels and our object names are descriptive of what its purpose is. So it's always a good practice to have. So as you may have noticed, I have pre-built a field called Kill All Automation. So this is basically just a checkbox field under this system-specific custom settings that basically we can reference through our validation rules and also through custom Apex code in case we develop any custom Apex code in the future. And it's actually a good feature to add to any triggers or any specific Apex code. So let's just click on Manage, click on Edit. As you may have seen, I've already checked that. So by checking the Kill All Automation for Mojo Electronic, this means that I literally kill all automation. I set this particular kill switch, turning off all validation rules or all validation rules that use this particular field, as well as any code that uses this particular field as well. So let's just go to Customize and integrate that with our existing contact validation rule. Just click on Validation Rule, click on Edit. So let's add a clause to our setup, and let's enter our criteria not equals to true. Click on Save. There you have it. So this means that this particular validation rule will not fire off if that particular kill switch in the setting, custom setting that we created, is turned on. So that's it. So in this last video, we just discussed how we can create override fields both in the object and a custom setting to prevent or halt certain automated processes that we have configured earlier on. So in this video, we discussed how to create record-based overrides located directly on the object, and also how to create custom settings and integrate this setting as an override for our validation rules. So this leads us to the end of our video course, Salesforce CRM, the definitive admin. Hope that all the videos within this course will help you become a better Salesforce administrator, as well as taking advantage of the whole spectrum of the Salesforce platform and what it can do for your organization. So from my end, I would just like to wish you thank you, and thanks for going along with this journey regarding Salesforce.com. Thanks.